is Lee Ruff. Could you read his objectives, please?
Okay. Lee is speaking from the Confident Communication Manual, project number 6, vocal variety. His objectives: use voice, volume, pitch, rate, and quality to reflect and add meaning and interest to your message. Use pauses to enhance your message. Use vocal variety smoothly and naturally. This time is 5 to 7 minutes.
5 to 7?
5 to
7 to 10.
7 to 10.
Oh, 7 to 10. That's the scheduler. Okay, 7 to 10 minutes.
Lee never met Kenneth Nishimura. He got to know a little about him from his good friends, Dennis and Leslie Duggar. Kenneth is Leslie's father. And Dennis asked Lee and another good friend to help him fold Kenneth's flag. Lee got interested in Kenneth's life and how his story should be told, and how he and others would like Kenneth not to be forgotten. Let us give a warm welcome to Lee Ruff, Kenneth Nishimura, An American's Story.
Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, especially our new members, how do you honor a man's life? What is it that dash between born on and died on, how do you honor that dash, his life? Kenneth Nishimura was born in Sacramento, California, April 21st, 1917, to Japanese immigrant parents. He's a Nisei. A Nisei is what they call second generation Japanese, first born in America. He was the third child. He has 2 older sisters and a younger brother. Unfortunately, his younger brother died in childhood. Before World War II, his mother passed on, so his father was a widower. December 7th, 1941 changed their whole life. They were sent to an internment camp, Tule Lake, California. Can you imagine being an American citizen and being sent to a concentration camp? Would you put up with that? They went peacefully. Kenneth was a very peaceful man. He was classified as an enemy alien 4C. What that means is you cannot be drafted in the United States service. You cannot defend your own country. He lived in the bachelor barracks with his dad, and his 2 older sisters and their families lived in family barracks. And he used to go to the mess hall every day, and one time he went to the mess hall by himself and his father didn't go with him. And the young gal that was in the mess hall asked him, well, where's your father? He's extremely ill and he can't come here. So she would take food to him. That started a relationship. Yoshiko, she was that young lady. They got married in that same mess hall, in that internment camp. Her friend Mindy from Vancouver, and that's where Yoshiko was from, was Vancouver, Washington, threw her a bridal shower. And then she got on a train and a bus and went to Tule Lake to give her the presents and the doll off the cake because she was not allowed to bring the cake into the camp. There might be something in there that was dangerous. Ken didn't even have a suit to wear for his own wedding. He had to borrow a suit. And they got married in December of 42. Yo, as she was called her whole life, got a job in Detroit, being a housekeeper. And Ken went with her. And while she was being the housekeeper, he attended mechanic school because he was very gifted with his hands and he loved tinkering with things. In 1943, the United States changed their mind and let Japanese Americans join the service, and he joined the Army. He was sent to Camp Shelby in Mississippi. He had to take an loyalty loan to his own country to fight for his own country. Can you imagine having to do that? He went along. He was then sent to Florida and joined the 100th Battalion. And many of you have heard about the 100th Battalion. You're part of the 442nd Regiment, the most decorated military unit in World War II. In one campaign, the 1,400 members of their battalion had 900 casualties. 900. They landed at Anzio in Italy, and they fought towards Rome. And after that, they were taken to southern France right after D-Day happened for the second invasion of France, and he had to march for 21 days solid and never took off his combat boots. He got infected. So he got sent to the hospital and he returned to the United States and he went to interpreter school because he did speak Japanese also. However, the war ended before he ever was an interpreter. He moved back to Sacramento with his new wife and they started a family. They have 4 kids. They have Adele, Keith, Leslie, my good friend, and her younger brother, Timothy. And I know what kind of a person Ken is just by talking to Leslie and meeting her brother. A devoted family man. He got a job at the Army Depot in Sacramento, and then he tried his hand at life insurance. Wasn't his niche. Didn't have enough moxie to do that. So he went back to being a mechanic, J.C. Penney's in Sacramento, and he became a service rider. And later on, as his health deteriorated, he became a mechanic for the Sacramento Police Department. Leslie was so proud of him. She said he was the only guy she ever knew that could fix any and everything. He loved tinkering on stuff. He was a natural mechanic. Leslie told me one time he made her and her sisters change tires on the car. That wasn't as bad as getting to change the oil in the filter on the car too. And she learned how to put chains on. He was really big into the Boy Scouts in Sacramento area and the VFW, which stands for Veterans of Foreign Wars, and this is where this picture was taken. He was big into the Methodist Church in his area, and he even helped Yo with their Seroptimus, even though he wasn't a Seroptimus. He loved to explore things. He loved to take the kids and the wife and get in the car and just go look at things, whatever it was. If they were building something new, he wanted to go look at it. He loved driving. His other passions were camping and fishing, especially trout fishing. He loved to trout fish. And he was a quiet man. He never talked about his experiences in the war, ever. one of his other favorite things was the family next door, the Sakais. They were like an aunt and uncle to these kids growing up. And they loved to play poker. And he and his wife, especially Yo, were cutthroat poker players. And they liked to drink their whiskey too, because they liked to party. Later in his life, he was never known as a pet person, with dogs or cats or anything. Somehow this boxer named Sage wormed her way into his life, and they were constant companions till the end of his life. He died in 1982. How do I want to remember Ken? By telling his story. He's just an American. Not a Japanese American, not an Asian American. He's just an American. And he went through a lot of prejudices in his life, but he overcame them with silence. He was a very strong person. And to me, Ken Nishimura was a true American.